This image was taken from Colorado Road. This is a group hill above. I'm not coming through. Okay. Slide. This was taken off Colorado Road in Mid Pines, close to where I live. It's a group kill. It happens to be above a house that was occupied by a friend of mine. So I'm gonna sort of blast through here what I have to say because a lot of it's already been covered, but there are some things that I think need talking about that haven't been exposed to you.
Get closer to the mic.
Let's try this. How's that?
Better.
Okay. One is the need for collaboration amongst a whole bunch of players. We've got federal agencies, we've got state agencies, we've got county agencies, and we've got the Fire Safe Council, we've got the Resource Conservation District, we have the Sierra Nevada Conservancy, the Sierra Foothills Conservancy. All of these folks have a role to play, and they need to cooperate with one another for reasons that I'll talk about in just a few minutes. One thing that really hasn't been discussed is scarce contractor resources in Mariposa County. We have a small number of licensed timber operators. We have, I believe, one registered professional forester who resides in the county. So the people who work on this problem are likely going to have to travel. There are a large number of licensed timber operators north. There are some south of us. And of course that increases the cost of what they do when they get here. Treatment complexity. We're used to doing fuel reduction, with chainsaws and pole saws and the like, and we pile and burn and we thin out some small trees. This is really penny-ante stuff compared to what it takes to fall a large pine tree. It's dangerous, it's expensive, a whole different ballgame. Scarce landowner dollars have already been talked about. We don't have money to burn any of us, I know I don't. And taking down a tree can cost anywhere from $500 in the simplest case to $3,000 in a case where the tree is close to a house, has to be taken down by sections, maybe a crane is involved. It can get expensive real quick. Trees are not equally accessible by roads or tracks which allow vehicles to approach them or equipment. Many small parcels, 5-acre parcels with a few dead trees. So if you try to tackle projects a parcel at a time, you don't get economy of scale. It might be the case that a licensed timber operator who does a project, a combined project of several small parcels in a restricted geographic area can do so with less expense. We've already talked about limited market for woody materials. My own view, and I think it's shared by many in this room, is that the market's going to disappear altogether. There's just too much material that's going to be generated and too little use for it. Ponderosa pine is not used for structural. You can't frame a house with it according to the building code, so you're limited to maybe knotty pine living room paneling, which I happen to have in my house, very nice, but there's not very much use for it. The need to act quickly. I'm not sure Beverly agrees with this, but there's a window of time when if you remove a tree altogether, and that includes not only the logs but the slash, get them out and get them away, you may take some beetles with you, and that might limit the spread if you get the beetles in the tree off-site. But the window is limited. Once the tree dies,
Mike.
say again? Oh, sorry. Once the tree dies, the beetles go to the next one, and then you're stuck with a fire hazard. But taking it down is not going to limit the spread. Landowner understanding. I'm so happy to see as many people here today as there are. But there are about, I don't know, 16,000 people left in the county who haven't heard this. And fortunately, thanks to Jerry Sarrazin from the Sierra Sun-Times, we are taping this. We'll have video, and we also will mate up the audio with the slide presentations. And these will be on the internet, and I think you're going to upload those to YouTube. So not only will Mariposa hear about this, those of you who are not here, but other people will as well. I talked about the complexity of the treatment. These are the cost elements. Lots of labor. Anytime equipment is used, like chippers, you've got maintenance costs and amortization costs that have to be factored in. Transport, if you take logs or chips to a mill, you've got the driver, labor, and you've got mileage costs on the vehicle. Logging trucks are very expensive to buy and to maintain and to operate. Contractor profit. Licensed timber operators and registered professional forests aren't doing this for laughs. There has to be some profit. And the small amount of money that might be gained from selling to a mill to offset all this cost really depends upon volume as well as supply and demand. You know, if a logging truck shows up at a mill with a load and there's no prior agreement as to what's going to be paid for the material, the mill operator is going to quote an absolute rock bottom price. If on the other hand there's some volume, there's some chance that the amount of money that can be gained from the mill will be increased. So I think there needs to be a program that works all of these various constraints and problems in a coordinated fashion. And that program should have, I think, some of these objectives. First of all, remove danger to structures and human life. That's the biggie. Another is to assure evacuation routes stay open. The sheriff in this county has spent an awful lot of time regularizing and documenting evacuation routes. Well, my drive in here today was on East Woodlock Road through forested areas, and there are just dozens and dozens of hazard trees very, very close to the roadbed and out into the right-of-way as well. So that is going to be a big element of need. The program needs to minimize landowner cost of tree removal and maximize the predictability of landowner. Now, if we take these little 5-acre projects one at a time, you're going to get one number. If you can aggregate projects in a geographic area, you might see another number, a better one. And if the landowner doesn't know what kind of return is going to be gained from the material, there won't be a predictability to the landowner about the net cost for him. So all of this implies that there needs to be a level of coordination over all of this, as opposed to going onesie-twosie, one 5-acre project at a time. So I think there needs to be a buy-in by landowners and contractors for corral bedding or garden mulch or whatever. Again, though, limited market. We need to track the market for woody byproducts, and this is sort of wishful thinking, I think, but increase the market by developing other uses for the material. And secure grant dollars, that's going to be on every one of these slides. So in order to have this program that I'm talking about that helps optimize and coordinate all of this activity, there needs to be a core group formed to really finalize the objectives, and that should in turn form a task force of stakeholders to design, I should put design in capital letters, plan and oversee a dead tree abatement process for the county. Large landowners, small landowners, county right-of-ways, emphasizing habitable structure safety. And I've been in contact with an organization called MAST, which stands for Mountain Area Safety Task Force. This was a group of stakeholders that was put together, I think it was 2002 or 2003, Lynn? 2003, to do exactly what I have described. And there's a huge difference between ourselves and San Bernardino County. San Bernardino County has 2.1 million people in it, and we have 17,000. So, I talked about a model there. That's too strong a term, I think. They have a very, very heavyweight process and organization to run the process. We, I don't think, can afford a heavyweight process. So, but what we can do is talk to them about what they did, what worked, what didn't work. There's a lot we can learn from them, because they took out 1.5 million trees over a period of years.
Billion, right?
Say?
It's a billion, right?
No, million.
Million trees.
I think.
Billion.
Let's agree that it was a very large number. They also had money. They got a $70 million grant from NRCS. And that, of course, was back in 2003. It's not clear that the political climate these days would allow such a thing to happen to us. I mean, it would be great if it did. We're in contact, and they're very, very helpful. They've already sent me, a rash of material that I haven't had even time to read yet because it came in last night. Now, this, I'm turning on thin ice here. Investigate obtaining a disaster area designation for the Central Sierra for tree death and reforestation. We already have a disaster designation that covers the drought. And this is a drought-related thing that we're talking about. But it strikes me that a designation that specifies tree death and reforestation will give us more focus on this problem and might enhance our ability to get some money to apply to this. Because right now, we haven't got any. So, want to emphasize long-range problem, multiple phases, requires long-range planning, and we're only talking about phase one when we talk about dead tree removal, getting rid of the beetle kill. There's vegetation management and removal that could be done in conjunction with that or after it, and reforestation, because we're going to lose a lot of trees. And assuming the drought lives, we need to put some trees back. But trying to do so without something approaching a normal rainfall, I think is a waste of money. In 2013, February 1st, we finished the planting on my property with several thousand ponderosa pine. And after that, we had almost zero precipitation. And so we're looking at a less than 5% survival rate as we sit today. So we've got to get some rain. That's it. Thank you.